everybody. Welcome back to the Northwest Georgia High School Football Scoreboard. We're a little late tonight. I was traveling back home. I was over at Calhoun to watch the Cedartown Bulldogs win by 2 touchdowns. Like somebody, I can't remember who it was that called it on our pick'em show. Somebody picked Cedartown by 2 touchdowns, and 21-7 was the final at Calhoun. Joined by Chris Napier, as always. I believe you was at North Murray tonight.
Yep, I was North Murray. They were hosting Northwest Whitfield. So, yeah, I got to see them, and Northwest come out with a 35-14 win there. So that was a big win for Northwest. I think they start the season 4-0. So they're on a roll heading into region play.
Yeah, we had some lopsided scoreboards. We had some really close games. We had some comebacks. Had just about everything tonight in a kind of condensed schedule. A lot of teams off tonight, but most of our scores are scrolling across the bottom. And here in a few minutes, we'll go ahead and announce all those for those listening and not looking. Go over any of the games, any of the scores that stand out to you initially.
The Cedartown, 2 touchdowns over Calhoun. That tells me Cedartown is legit. They're a legit contender for that 4A. Any given year, Calhoun can go out and win a state championship, and for Cedartown to go in there and beat them 21-7, that says something. That's a statement. It's a big one.
Oh yeah, that is a big one. I agree with you. And that was, no disrespect to the teams that I've watched this year, but that was big boy football. I mean, that's the most physical game I've seen all year for sure. And, when Gardner is coming at you from that fullback, from that whatever position you want to call it in their offense, from about 3 yards back with a head of steam, you got to man up if you're tackling that guy.
Mm-hmm. Another score that jumps out at me, I don't know if you have it posted or not. North Paulding knocks off South Paulding tonight. It's kind of an upset. I was picking South Paulding. I really like what they got going. Boone Anderson, he's got a talented group of receivers, and I'm sure he had a big hand in that. I don't have any stats or anything, any highlights I've seen, but that was a big win for North.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have the final for that yet, but it seems like the last I heard, North Paulding was winning. So do we have a final? Did you get a final for that?
I think somebody had sent me a message on
it.
Lawrence said he was still searching for the final. He's got a 49-28 lead by North in the fourth quarter.
Another one of those, let's see here. I got a final on the Bowden game from B92 Radio from Greg J. It says Bowden wins 48-35 over, I believe they were playing Tattnall Square.
Yeah.
That's a big win.
That is a very big win. Tattnall Square is a very good football program. So another statement being made tonight this time by Bowden.
The final coming in here, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the final coming in, North 49, South 35.
Wow.
So I'll add that to our list here.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another big statement made tonight, this time by Bowden. Another team who I think can contend. They're in that single A Division II. They've got a tough region battle coming up. But I think Bowden should be in the top 5. If not, they'll show everybody they should be, I think.
Yeah, another one on that list, the Central Lions. They gotta win tonight. Looking for that total. I just seen that their running back on the comments here. It says Central freshman running back Walton got offered by Georgia and run for at least 250 and 6 touchdowns today.
Wow. I think he had a big week last week. This is after this dude's going to make Central a different team come 7-4A time. So throw all the predictions out the window. This guy is burst onto the scene. He's got an offer by Georgia, and rightly so. He's very good. So that changes that whole region right there.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kevin.
How you doing, fellas?
Pretty good.
Hey,
How are you?
Paul?
Doing well. Pretty good night of football tonight.
Yes, it was. It's always a good night when you get to watch football. We had some wild scores tonight. How about Callaway? 21-7 over Herd.
Yeah, 21-7 over Herd. Yep.
And we're going to have to eventually address it sooner or later, Benton. I'm sure there's some Adairsville Tiger fans out there just itching to tell us, I told you so. So,
yeah, hey, great game by Adairsville. They, I guess you would call it an upset of Cass this week. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the computers had it pretty much even. They had it within a point or two.
29-12 was the final. Adairsville holds Cass, a good Cass offense, to 12 points.
Yeah, a very good Cass offense. So hats off to the Tigers there. And now that Paul's on, let's talk about the game we were all at last night.
Yeah.
Coahulla Creek hosting Chattooga. Oh, geez. Oh.
Thank you for the duds. Although
I've got mine in the other. I've got mine in the other room where I throw it on too.
And I just want to thank Coach Wilson.
Yeah.
For we all got over there. They made sure we all got a Colts hat, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I want to thank the whole place over there, the middle school, the high school. We met the principal there for all the water drive they did for Chattooga County and Somerville and Trine, and really thank everybody. It's coming from all directions. I've seen it from Dade County. I've seen it from Darlington. I've seen it from everywhere. So we appreciate everybody.
Yeah, that's Mr. Martis over there. He's a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good. We didn't actually talk about the game last night. Coahulla Creek got the 35-0 win over the Chattooga Indians. I was there on the sideline. You were on the call, and you were on the sidelines as well, Chris.
Yep. And that's
let's hear what you have to say about it, Paul. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, just to reiterate what you said there, Benton, first-class folks over there at Coahulla Creek. Just want to give one more shout-out to them for their hospitality, all the stuff they've done for the Chattooga County community to, help out with water and all that kind of stuff. Also, great to see you guys. We try to get all over the place as much as we can, and very rarely do three of us end up at the same place at the same time. So, good to see you guys last night. And then, as far as the game goes, it's just Coahulla Creek. They've got a good football team this year. They've got a good offense. They're very versatile on the offensive side of the ball. Ran the ball successfully there with Gordon. And then, of course, Kinemon, Dominguez, those guys, they mix it up. They can run, they can throw it short, and that young, inexperienced Chattooga defense just was on their heels all night long. And in my opinion, that was the story of the game was, Coahulla Creek's versatility on offense versus Chattooga's inexperience on defense.
When I'm watching, over the season so far, I mean, you might get one or two or maybe even three plays in a row where you get a stuff or you get a batted ball or, an incompletion on good plays by the defense. And then the next play may be a 60-yard run. I mean, you just gotta, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you, you make that play, but I mean, you gotta figure out how to not give up the big plays. And I mean, it's obvious. Yep. I mean, coaches, they know exactly what they're doing. You got to figure out a way to do it. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I made the comment last night on the radio and the streaming broadcast that Chattooga's kids are young. They play hard, but it's like you said, Benton, they'll make a play or two.
Yeah.
And then, but it's almost like two steps forward, one step back.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully they'll just keep keep working. And the biggest thing with a group like this is you can't start getting down on yourself. You got to keep playing because it's a 10-game season, and it'll get worse if you let it.
Yeah, I think that experience. I think the experience will build the consistency that they
Yeah.
lack right now. So I think it's a very young team. I think a couple years from now, Chattooga is going to be legit.
Yeah, I mean it's the same
Yeah.
way. It's the same thing you've seen, in my opinion, at Cahola Creek. A couple years ago, Kittleman was young, lacked experience. And I mean you can just tell he's a veteran guy. The way he carries himself in the pocket, rolls out. He knows exactly where the defense is. He knows exactly where the first down markers are. He just ran the offense. And
Yep.
that's the way it's going to hopefully come through the years at Chattooga. So.
Game 10.
Yeah.
Game 10 and 6 AAA. Ooh.
All right, Paul. What about the game you was at tonight? Bulldogs looked pretty strong tonight, didn't they?
They did. I actually took the night off from traveling. Yeah. I watched the Bulldogs from the comfort of my living room on the live stream.
Okay.
And shout out to the Trine live stream. Ben Gross and Jeremy Burke, those guys do a great job. And it was I think what most of us expected. Trine looked really good. I thought they ran the ball effectively, but tonight they took a step throwing the ball. They opened it up a little bit. Cade Smith made some good passes to several different receivers. Nathan Willingham had a couple big receptions. Let's see who else might have got involved there. The tight end, 44. Stokes, Kelly Stokes' boy, Logan Stokes. He made a couple big plays catching the ball. So they made some strides tonight. I thought throwing the football. The defense for Trine, I thought, really showed out tonight. And I don't mean this in any type of a negative way towards Gordon Central. Those guys, they're fighting hard and they're going through a rough patch. But if I'm not mistaken, Trine held Gordon Central to 0 first downs and 20 or so yards of total offense.
Wow. That's another. Now that you're mentioning Trine, and we just mentioned game 10 in another region, it's time to mention another game 10 in this region, Darlington and Trine.
Yes, sir.
Those two are on a collision course, and they're both really good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be the last.
Yeah, they are. I was actually a little surprised. There was some confusion back and forth with some of the scores we were getting. At one point in time, it looked like that Lafayette was beating Sonoraville. Looks like Sonoraville pulled that game out at the end. And, Sonoraville's got some athletes. They went over and played that game at Dalton. And I was surprised, actually, to see the Sonoraville Lafayette score, even though Sonoraville pulled it out. With the way Trine handled Lafayette, I mean, it surprised me a little bit. I think Trine may be actually even a little better than even I and some other folks may have thought.
Here we go. That's the first of the list of I proved you wrongs. Bowden beat Patton Square 48-35. We proved you wrong. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. So I don't know if I give you a brief update of the North Murray Northwest score. How it got to be that way. North Murray come out and they looked really good in that first half. They went into halftime with a lead, 14-7. I think the story of the game was the turnovers in the second half. I think North Murray turned the ball over, and in some tough ways. You give the Owen Brooker and company a short field, they're going to execute. They're going to take advantage, and they did. So it seemed like the missteps that North Murray had at Northwest was there to take advantage of them. They executed well on offense, and they took a run away with it there, 35-14.
How many turnovers did North Murray end up with there, Chris?
3 in that second half, and they were all very costly.
Yeah.
Seems
like that might have been the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, one of them was a pick six, so those hurt the most. But Hudson Gray there for Northwest Whitfield. This is a guy we've watched over the years come up, and we knew he was going to be good, and he is. He made some outstanding plays tonight, so hats off to him.
Also, another big play that was made. Rome got by Pebblebrook tonight on a last minute touchdown pass. I'm not sure. I know that it was from who's the quarterback at Rome again?
Reese Fountain.
Fountain, yeah, Fountain.
Fountain.
I'm not sure who caught the ball, but I mean that's pressure situation, getting the job done right there. Big win for Rome. It was kind of a comeback win, I think.
Yeah, that was under a minute to play. That last touchdown.
Getting it done.
Yeah.
Also, a quick shout out to Dade County. They went to Marion County, Tennessee, and got the 27-0 victory. A big win.
Lumpkin. Look at Lumpkin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big time. Temple's a tough team. I know Lumpkin's had a great start to the season, and I'm sure they're excited over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lawrence sending his personal congrats to Adairsville.
Lawrence doing a little PR work there.
Yeah, we all got to eat crow right there, I guess. The Tigers proved us wrong.
Well, I mean, and as far as the Adairsville game goes, I mean, congrats to the Adairsville Tigers, but that was a big bounce back for them. They had a tough loss at Rayburn County last weekend, and so way to bounce back from that.
That was a real tough loss. I see. Let's look at a couple more of these 7-4A. Heritage gets the job done tonight, 35-7 over Ridgeland, and then you got Northwest won, and Sonoraville won, and you have Central with a huge win, and Cedartown won. 5 playoff teams right there we just talked about, and there's 4 spots. Man, this is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting 2 through 4. I don't know that it's going to be exciting for number 1.
Yeah, I think Cedartown's got that. They got that locked up. They're full of dudes. That roster is loaded. They're talented. They're contenders, and they know it.
I mean, you just don't know after watching them tonight. You just don't know who's going to get the ball. Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be 10? You got to try to tackle the big guy in the middle. I mean, the quarterback looked good on his feet tonight. He also had some. When you're bunched in like that and you run somebody out, if you're not covering them right off the bat, they're running by you. I mean, when you're 5-8 yards off the line of scrimmage, you're not going to be able to turn and run with those guys. So,
Cartersville. I'm not for sure the freshman there at Cartersville. He is filling in for the quarterbacks got hurt, and he's put together some phenomenal play over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a second, if you don't mind, and just go ahead and run through all the scores. I got them listed out here.
Yeah.
I'll run through the scores, and then we'll start back talking. North Paulding beats South Paulding tonight 49-35. Carrollton gets a big win at Villarica 52-0. Rome at home against Pebblebrook gets a last-minute touchdown and a win 30-28 over Pebblebrook. Cartersville, that you just mentioned, gets a big performance from the freshman quarterback, I guess you'd say, 42-0 over Columbia. Rockmart outscores Dalton to a 63-42 victory. Cedartown gets the win at Calhoun 21-7. Hiram gets a big win at home against Morrow 55-28. The Pepperell Dragons defended their home turf against Woodland 35-0. Adairsville with the big win 29-12 over Cass. Central's freshman running back, like we said, had offers from Georgia, went over 250 tonight they said 6 touchdowns, beats McIntosh 61-40. Heritage over Ridgeland 35-7. Northwest Whitfield wins on the road at North Murray 35-14. Sonoraville gets a big win at Lafayette, 28-17. Gilmer goes to Ringo. Ringo wins 28-0. Big time win for Ringo. Mary Parsons on the road at Haralson County wins 38-17. And last night, as we mentioned before, Cahola Creek was at home on Thursday night against Chattooga. They win 35-0. Moving on down, Gordon Central takes it on the chin at Trying Knot 57-0. Bowden gets the win at Tatnall Square 48-35. Union County comes to Rome and gets a victory against Armurchie 42-10. Dade County beats Marion County, Tennessee 27-0. Lumpkin County holds off Temple for a 27-20 win. And Callaway beats Hurd 21-7.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a night of football. What a weekend. We got another 3-4 days of football, guys. So
yes, we do. I think you guys already had touched on this before I jumped on. I think you guys might have been talking about Bowden right before I got on. And I just want to give a shout out to the Red Devils. You know, those guys play a tough non-region schedule year in and year out. And seems like they don't care if they go 0-4 in non-region play or not. They're just trying to play some good competition. So shout out to the Red Devils. They've played some really tough non-region competition early in the year. So going into region play here in the next couple of weeks, I think the Red Devils are going to be hard to beat.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, I got to get off here. One thing I got to say before I go, I think Judson Petty is going to be one of the top recruits of the area for next season. The kid's phenomenal. But thank you, Cohola Creek, and I'll see you in Nears. Enjoy your week off. But, guys, y'all take it easy. I've had a long week of work, and I've got to get some sleep.
All right,
Chris. Take it easy.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
See you, Chris.
Yeah, so just looking down the comments here, Thomas from Adairsville says he appreciates Lawrence's congrats on the win. This guy here, Matt, he says 7-4A wrapped up Cedartown to the bins. Now, it's not wrapped up yet, but I do like your optimism. I'm not going to argue with you, but I don't think they play in the bins anymore. I wish they did. Isn't it at Georgia State now?
Yep, I believe so.
That's just an epic fail. I don't.
Yeah, playing outdoors in December. That's just a phenomenal idea.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Anyway, we won't go there because that's a different subject. Jake Keller said, if you had the under on a Daresville Cast, go buy a lottery ticket. No one expected a total of 41 points. That's good. That's good. So I was going to look at some of next week's games if I could pull up. We have one more week in most regions of non-region games, and then we'll kick it off. I'm trying to think if there's any regions that we cover that will start region play next week. I don't believe so.
Not to my knowledge, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We'll look at we'll go down to D1 and see what games I see next week from our area. I see Armurchie will be on the road at Southeast Whitfield. That should be a really good game. Armurchie trying to go. They're 2-1 now, so they'll be looking for another win. Towns County will be at Coosa. That should also be a really good game there. Some good game. Model will take that defense on the road to Trine next week. That should be it's going to be interesting to see what the Model defense does against that pretty potent Trine offense. I know the other day at Lafayette they were on the ground and through the air. I'm not sure about how it worked out today, but
I'm looking forward to that matchup. As a matter of fact, I think Model's defense is pretty stout, and it'll be a good test for Trine. And I think what will be their last non-region game, And so looking forward to that one.
And I'm getting a few comments here that says 6 AAA starts next week. So here in a second, we'll get to the region matchups in 6 AAA.
Okay.
I do see Darlington will play host to Northwest Whitfield, and the Bruins. That should be that's a battle of the undefeated teams. That should be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah. I mean, very intrigued by that game.
Yeah. Rayburn County will make the trip all the way to Heard County. That should be interesting. Rayburn seems to be as strong as they've ever been, somehow or another. But good team. Dade County has Swain. They're going to be at Swain County. I couldn't tell you one sentence about Swain County. I have no idea. I don't know where they're at.
Does anybody have a more interesting non-region schedule than Dade County?
Man, they're all over the country. They're not. I want to say that Swain County team is from like North Carolina or something.
Well, they're playing folks from all over the place. Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, Georgia. They don't care.
Let's see. They are. Yes, North Carolina. Yeah, it's at Swain County, North Carolina. So that's up there. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. I know they're a 3-1 team.
Okay.
With their only loss to Smoky Mountain, 21-20. So should be a very interesting matchup. I'm not sure how North Carolina football matches up against Georgia football. It'll be interesting to see. Another interesting game that I'll be interested in seeing how the defenses do. Pepperell on the road at Temple next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that should be a very interesting game just to see. Pepperell's defense showed out tonight and had a 35-0 win over Woodland. Tim Towle says Swain is in the Smoky Mountain Conference, so that's up there in their neck of the woods in the Team FYN Sports' homeland.
It is. The Smoky Mountain Conference, does that not sound like a D2 college football conference?
I know, right? Tim says Heath Schuler played at Swain High School. That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Keeping on going down the list here, Chattooga is on the road at Murray County, and both teams 0-3, looking for a big win, looking for some momentum. Hopefully,
that's going to be an exciting game. That's going to be
somebody's going to get a win next week. I'm telling you that. Somebody's going.
Hey, the Indians are going to win no matter what.
Yes, sir. We've got the Red Indians, the Blue Indians, the Green Indians. We got all the Indians on the schedule this year. Irwin County, which is a pretty solid football team, a top 10 in their own right, is on the road at Rockmart.
Single A powerhouse.
Yeah, that should be interesting to see how they can match up against. And I got to take a second to post this comment. It was definitely Calhoun's homecoming tonight, and Cedartown come in and Chris is right. Do not schedule Cedartown as your homecoming. Anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't mean this in any negative way towards Calhoun. They're one of the most dominant programs in our area over the last 20 years. They're going to get things, sorted out when it gets to region play here in a couple of weeks. But, when's the last time you remember Calhoun being 1-2 and their one win was a 1-point win?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that for sure. Let's see here. Moving on into 2A here. I'm just scrolling down through the list, so it could be anybody. We've already talked about the model trying game.
Yep.
Man, I don't see a lot. Well, let me go to it a different way. Excuse me.
Oh, no problem.
Will you be on the call next week?
I will. I'll be over in Chatsworth at Murray County versus Chattooga.
I've had multiple people complimenting you, so you must be doing a really good job.
Oh well, I'll take it. I'm a rookie.
Yeah, not that that Barry didn't do a good job because I mean, I
Oh,
like
Barry's
listening to
fantastic.
Barry. Yeah, I like listening to Barry. He's knowledgeable about it. Let's see here next Friday. Two-way. Of course, we got a couple games we've talked about already. We got Murphy, North Carolina. We're playing a lot of North Carolina teams. We'll be on the road at Fannin.
At Fannin, yeah, that's right. I heard Tim talking about that earlier. That's an interesting matchup.
Uh-huh. Haralson County on the road at Upson Lee.
Oh, that's down there, south of Griffin down there. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to 6 AAA next week's games. We've been informed will be region games. You got Ridgeland traveling to Cahola Creek.
Okay.
Adairsville on the road at LFO. You also have this could be an interesting one here. Ringo at Lafayette.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting game.
Bremen will open up region play at Gordon Lee.
Oh, okay. I think Gordon Lee was off tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. I did not see them on the list, and Lawrence doesn't miss many.
No.
Next week, Northgate will be on the road at Central. This is in 4A now.
Mm-hmm.
Calhoun will. It shows them at 2-2, by the way. Calhoun will be on the road at Sonoraville.
Okay.
Of course, we've already talked about the Northwest Darlington and the Armurchie game. They kind of overlap here. Moving to the bigger guys in 5A. When you get up there to 5A, I'm trying to think, is it 7 or 6? It's 7, 5A. Okay, good. Sorry. Dalton is on the road at Lassiter. Heritage is, and I believe this may be a different Heritage.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the Heritage Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Conyers. They will have the task of going into the Purple Hurricane territory, Cartersville next week.
Okay.
Hiram will be on the road at Drew. Sorry, what was you going to say?
I was going to say that's a tough task going down there to Cartersville and playing.
Oh yeah, it's and and like we said, I mean, the dang freshman quarterback is leading them to 40, 50 points. I mean, what are they going to do when they get their senior quarterback or their normal quarterback back?
Yeah.
It's going to be
and good news. I mean, I don't know exactly what the official word was, but last week we had heard that he may be done for a while, and now it looks like he may be back in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's good news. Next week, Rome will get a bye week before they will open up their region at home against Allatoona.
Okay.
And Allatoona, if I'm not mistaken, had they played Hillgrove tonight, and they won 31-9, and they had a battle against Cartersville last week. They lost 28-20. So,
Wow.
Altoona has played some guys. What about this schedule coming out? North Paulding, Kell, and Cartersville. I mean, that's your opening 3. I mean, you played some pretty good powerhouses.
Yeah.
And then they get their first win to go to 1-3 tonight over Hillgrove. And then some teams that we've seen before, Creekview next week, and then they'll be on the road at Rome.
But talk about a rough opening stretch there. That's about as tough as it can get, in my opinion, in the entire state of Georgia for the first 5 games.
And it's against the big boys too. We're not, you're not playing. You're playing either equal or up in competition.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We'll go through a couple more. I'm looking for the Carrollton game next week.
Okay.
And Carrollton's been one of those teams that's kind of been highlighted. They will actually play at home against Jenkins of Savannah next week. I have no idea anything about Jenkins,
No.
besides the record it shows here is 1-2. So, I would say that most people would probably heavily favor Carrollton in that one.
Yeah. I saw where another one of those Carrollton kids got a pretty good offer today, and so I mean those guys just continue to, kids keep getting offers, they keep winning ball games, and things are looking up for the Carrollton program and those players.
Just going over the scores, scrolling on the bottom here, I was looking at some of the games, some of the finishes. The Sonoraville Lafette game. It looks like Lafette battled hard there, and Bowden getting a big victory at Tatnall Square. I mean, it's really a lot of times early in the year it's hard to tell how good teams are going to be. And I can tell you in this region and Bowden's region in their classification, you better believe Bowden's going to be a contender.
Yep.
Bowden's going to be there contending, and you're going to see them make a run in the playoffs. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that we cover in our area that's going to make a decent run. I think Darlington can make a run. I think Tryon can make a run. Bowden, of course.
Yep.
You got Cedartown. Even teams like Northwest, and depending on who makes the playoff. I mean, that region with Northwest in it. I mean, you got a bunch of teams that can make the playoffs, and a North Murray team which caught a loss tonight in the Northwest can get hot and score 60. So I mean, how many teams can do that? So and then Adairsville,
exactly. I think Chris said earlier North Murray had 3 turnovers, including a pick 6, just in the second half.
Yeah,
and you take those away, and that ball game's pretty much dead even.
Yeah, different game for sure. And then Adairsville, flexing the defensive muscles tonight against Cass. I mean, that's a step up in competition, and Adairsville looks real good in that region. I mean, it's going to be tough to knock them off. But, what we're seeing, I wouldn't put it past anybody knocking somebody off.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. And I think we had a little conversation about this in some of our group chats here earlier in the week. Is that it all depends too on your seating and the bracket you fall in.
Yeah.
I think we were looking at some of that a few days ago, and there were some comments made about the fact that there are several different classifications where what a lot of people assume may be the best couple teams in the state are going to be playing each other as early as the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we the direct conversation we had was Carrollton. Carrollton and Buford, if both finished as the 1 seeds in their regions, which I mean, Carrollton's still got a tough schedule. I mean, going down Carrollton's schedule, they have. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's no guarantee that they're going to be the 1 seed, but if they were, they would meet Buford in the 3rd round of the playoffs. And, Buford looks like they are a powerhouse. They look like the number 1 seed. They look like a number 1 seed.
Every year.
Yeah. Going through the region standings, and I'll start down here at in Division I, Region 7. I think everything is kind of the way we designed it, or the way we spelled it out. I think you're going to have Tryon and Darlington battling for that top spot. And then, I mean, you have teams like Dade. Pepperell showed a lot this year. Pepperell could be one of those teams that could challenge for, the 1 or 2 seed. You never know.
No, you never know. And a lot of people are jumping on some of us tonight about that Adairsville game. And I mean, everybody keeps preaching, Tryon Darlington 10th game of the year, but somebody like Pepperell or Dade County jumps up and surprises Darlington or Tryon, and we're going to get a lot of tweets about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can tell you right now, Coach Poston and the guys, they're going to lay it all on the line. You could see anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And real quick, Coach Poston in Dade County is another one of those places that has done a water drive and delivered some water down here at Chattooga County. So another big shout out to those guys.
Yeah. We're all very appreciative of that, and we're hopefully can get through this weekend. It seems like this weekend there's some call for some big rain amounts, so hopefully we can avoid that.
I think if we can manage the next 24 to 36 hours, I think we're going to be all right.
Yes, sir. Well, I tell you what, it's around midnight. I will go over the scores one more time. We'll throw some final thoughts out there, and then we'll put this one to bed. How about that?
Sounds good.
All righty. Just going back from the top, North Paulding with a big win, 49-35 over South Paulding. Carrollton 52, Villarica 0. Rome 30, Pebblebrook 28. Cartersville 42, Columbia 0. Rockmart 63, Dalton 42. Cedartown 21, Calhoun 7. Hiram 55, Morrow 28. Pepperell 35, Woodland 0. Adairsville 29, Cass 12. Central of Carroll 61, McIntosh 40. Heritage 35, Ridgeland 7. Northwest Woodfield 35, North Murray 14. Sonoraville 28, Lafayette 17. Thursday night, Cahola Creek beats Chattooga 35-0. Ringo over Gilmer 27-0. Mary Parsons over Haralson County 38-17. Trine over Gordon Central 57-0. Bowden beats Tatnall Square 48-35. Union over Armurchie 42-10. Dade County 27, Marion County 0. That's Marion County, Tennessee, by the way. Lumpkin County 27, Temple 20. Callaway over Hurd 21-7. And just reading back through those again, I mean, Ringo had an impressive win tonight. We talked about how Gilmer has been on a the rise up, and Coach Standard had them playing good, and they had some big wins already this year. And they went to Ringo and kind of got stoned. It looked like so. Big win for the Ringo Tigers going into region play coming up.
Yeah, shout out to Ringo. I'm not sure they had started the season quite as they had hoped, but huge win tonight, and what a better way to kind of get some momentum going into region play.
How do you pronounce this? Yo, it's your girl says Rockmart Dalton final was no indication of how the game went, but she also says prayers to number 4 of Dalton. I'm not sure what happened there, but you would guess it would be some kind of injury. So we will send well wishes number 4 for Dalton. Yes,
well wishes. And then sounded like from what we heard earlier, there was a pretty good or pretty bad injury in was it the Murphy game?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's what Tim
that Jake was at.
Yeah, somebody was there, Tim or Jake or somebody.
So prayers to both those kids.
Absolutely, injuries are something we don't want to see anybody have. Well, that's it for us tonight. Remember to join us on Wednesday nights at 7 for the Northwest Georgia High School Pick'em Show. You can come on there, and we'll put your comments on who you pick to win games. And, I'll have to go back and look at last week's because somebody picked Cedartown by 2 touchdowns, and they were right on the money on that one. So,
I wonder who that was.
I'm not sure. All righty, guys. Well, I appreciate you joining, Paul, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, Benton, roll Tide.
Hey, take 1 second to, don't listen to Paul here. No, I'm just kidding. No, I understand. I totally Alabama looked good against Utah State. But, that red and black machine looked pretty good, too. You can't deny it.
They did. They did. I'm really interested to see what happens at noon tomorrow when Alabama goes to Texas. So
Yeah, let's just say Alabama needs to win by more than 20.
I think they're going to win by more than 20.
I would tend to agree with that, and I hope they do. I mean, I'm not cheering against Alabama until they get on the field across,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm not pulling for I'm not pulling against the Dogs until hopefully it's in Atlanta in early December.
Yeah, we eventually we're going to beat you in Atlanta because we hadn't done it yet.
I heard that. Hey, have a good night, brother.